So today I wanted to model a teacher read aloud and a strategy that I use in the classroom. So this book is one by Catherine Otashi, and it is an award winner. Several awards for this one. I use this at the beginning of the year, and I also use this book in my argument writing to introduce the concept of bullying. So here we go. And yes, she signed it for me. Super excited. Blue is a quiet color. He enjoyed looking up at the sky, floating on the waves. And on days he felt daring, splashing in rain puddles. Every once in a while he wished he could be more sunny, like yellow, or bright like green, more regal like purple, or outgoing like orange. But overall, he liked being blue, except when he was with red. Sorry, my window's open if you hear any noise. Red was a hothead. He liked to pick on blue. Red is a great color, he'd say. Red is hot, blue is not. Then Blue would feel bad about being blue. Sometimes Yellow comforted Blue. Blue is a very nice color, she'd say. But Yellow never said that in front of Red. She never said, "Stop picking on Blue." Green, purple, and orange thought Blue was nice too, but they never told Red to stop either. Every time Red said something mean and no one spoke up, he got bigger and bigger and bigger. Soon, Red grew so big that everyone was afraid of him. No one dared stop him. Red picked on all the colors. Then everyone felt a little blue. Until one came. He had a different shape with bold strokes and squared corners. He was funny and made the colors laugh. Red saw this and got very hot. "Stop laughing," he told Yellow. "Stop laughing," he told Green. "Stop laughing," he told Purple and Orange. And they did. Red rolled up to one. "Stop laughing," he told him. But one stood up straight, like an arrow, and said no. Red was mad, but one wouldn't budge, so Red rolled away. One turned to the colors and said, "If someone is mean and picks on me, I, for one, stand up and say no." Then Yellow felt brave and said, "Me too." Green agreed and said, "Me three." Then Purple became 4 and Orange became 5. Blue saw the colors change. He wanted to count. Red grew red hot. He felt left out. He grew hotter and hotter and hotter. Red raced over to Blue and said what he always did. "Red is hot, blue is not." And my screen just went to screensaver, sorry. Red is hot, blue is not. But this time blue stood up tall and became 6. Red can be really hot, he said, but blue can be super cool. Red blew a fuse and tried to roll over blue. But everyone took a stand and said no. Seeing them standing tall made Red feel very, very, very small. Then Red turned even redder and began rolling away. Blue called out, "Can red be hot and blue be cool?" Red stopped in his tracks. "Red can count too," said one. Red rocked and rolled and turned into 7. "Everyone counts," they shouted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then Red laughed and joined the fun. Sometimes it just takes one. Okay, so after I introduce this book to get into my unit, I bring in this strategy. It's called a 4-box comment card. It says, use this strategy for guiding your comprehension as a way to think and reflect on the book that was read during class. Notice this book is not an informational text, but it's going to lead into an informational text unit. So I model this first with this book. And so I say, okay, I want to make a comment about this book. Oh, well, I have been bullied. Just like blue, and felt like I didn't count. And then I put on here a surprise. And again, I'm teaching 6th graders. So I put on here, I liked how the author, so I try to make it sound more sophisticated with what we're trying to do, because we always talk about the author's viewpoints and what does the author stand, especially in arguments. I like how the author used the number 1 to relay the message of just one person taking a stand. And then I ask one question. And my question would be, based on the book, but I want to connect it to build the student's interest. How can I write to change one person's mind? And this goes straight into me being able to make this a big focus question, or one of my essential questions for my argument writing. And then I do one observation. And my observation is that if you go back to the text, and one observation that I notice is that the author actually puts colors and words and imagery into it. So the colors take on a humanistic shape. And I like how the author brought in some intensity, like red is hot, blue is not. But then if you go here, like you see the comforting part. But the one thing that I really like that's very nice is how the author actually uses this as showing intensity. Bigger and bigger and bigger. And so I put in here, I like how the author showed intensity with color and size. Sorry, I have family in town. So this is how I would model it, okay? And then I would bring out an informational piece on a story where a girl is bullied, and she starts a program that counteracts the bullying. And we do this together, and that's called guided practice. We do it together as a class. And then I actually bring in a video, which is another type of text, and the students actually, pause for a second, I didn't hit it in time enough. The students actually watch the video and work on this together in pairs. Then, that's my dog, sorry. Then, as I go through, we'll read another article that I have about bullying in school, and the students will do this independently. This is how I first introduce it. When I second introduce it, when I do it again a second time through modeling, I actually go through and start putting evidence. So I start adding evidence from the text to each piece to support what am I trying to say, my comment, my surprise. And even though there's a little bit of evidence here, I actually start showing the students how to include evidence in the text. What you're doing here is you're reading closely, and that standard is also talking about evidence from the text. And you don't want to just not provide evidence. You want to move the students into providing evidence. And that's how we do that. And when you read closely, we talk about you don't want to just look at the words of the text, but you want to look behind the meaning and the symbolism behind it. Then you have central ideas, and you see I even put where it says relay a message, and I put bullied here. And so my central idea is built within my comment, my surprise, questions, observations. And then, of course, this is always going to work on this standard. Please note, this standard should never be a lone standard. We're always working on that from the time the students come into the classroom the very first day until they leave. You want your students to move to be able to read and comprehend complex literary and informational text independently and proficiently. We're always working on that standard, but this standard may never, ever, ever be an alone standard. So just remember that. Now I want you to think about how could you use this maybe within a unit, maybe within your classroom, even in your specific content area. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the book.